What's good everyone, welcome to another guide for Aether Gazer. This time we're gonna check the commander of Knight of Convallaria, Athena. If you watch any of my previous guides, then in the same manner, in this one, we'll look into Athena's kit, overall, along with Sigil, Warp and Aether Codes recommendation, and finish it with looking on how she plays. One important thing to mention here is that Athena, just like SU before her, has a unique playstyle that might not be to the liking of everyone, so I recommend everyone who's thinking about pulling for her to test her on the character trial stage first. Alright, so let's go check Athena. Athena is a physical melee damage dealer hailing from the Olympus Gen Zone and uses Divine Grace as her combat resource. As for her skills, her normal attacks consists of a 5-hit combo. When Athena is in Humming-Blade state, Harmony Judgment occurs in the later half of each normal attack strike, grants the unyielding effect. Each time a strike is just as harmonious until the judgment bar ends. A sonic boom occurs when a normal attack is just as harmonious, dealing normal attack physical damage to surrounding enemies. Harmonious strikes do not interrupt the normal attack strike count. Skill 1, Triad Harmony, deals physical damage. When the harmony stack count is a multiple of 3, Adagio Vibrato deals physical damage and restores HP equal to 50% of Athena's attack when a hit lands. While in Humming-Blade state, an Adagio Vibrato cast and judged as harmonious increases non-dot damage dealt by 12%. Her skill 2, Tide 5, deals physical damage. When the harmony stack count is a multiple of 5, Moderato Legato deals physical damage and inflicts armor break on enemies, reducing their defense by 20% for 6 seconds, while in Humming-Blade state, a Moderato Legato cast and judged as harmonious increases non-dot damage dealt by 12%. Her skill 3, Blade in Song, may only be cast when Divine Grace is full, deals physical damage to surrounding enemies, and triggers Humming-Blade state, resets the CD of skill 1, Adagio Vibrato, and skill 2, Moderato Legato, and replaces Concerto Short Blade with Presto Tremolo. Presto Tremolo deals physical damage with each stack of harmony present, increasing non-dot damage dealt by Athena by 1%. When in Humming-Blade state, Athena expends 3 Divine Grace every 0.3 seconds. When Divine Grace reaches 0, Humming-Blade state ends and Concerto Short Blade goes into cooldown. Also, when in Humming-Blade state, Harmony Judgment occurs in the second half of the skill 1, skill 2, skill 3, and 1 stack of Harmony lasts 7 seconds. 1 stack of Harmony lasts 7 seconds is granted each time skill casting is judged as harmonious. The duration of Harmony is reset when an attack is not just as harmonious. Harmony stacks up to 105 times. As for her ultimate skill, Convallaria Resonance restores Divine Grace to full, resets the existing harmony count, and triggers Humming-Blade state. During this Humming-Blade state, a sonic boom also occurs around the teammates whenever a normal attack is judged harmonious. Also increases all teammates' normal attack damage for 10 seconds. Additionally, gains an ultimate skill, charged when stun is inflicted on the enemy. Effect can trigger once every 2 seconds. Her ultimate skill chain is Scorching Harmony and is performed in combination with a Hera. A Scorch Core centered on the hit enemy then forms pulling enemies continuously, also restores Divine Grace to full, resets Harmony stacks, and triggers Humming-Blade state. While in this state, when a normal attack strike is judged harmonious, a sonic boom also occurs around the teammates, increasing all team members' normal attack damage for 12 seconds. Lastly, Dodge skill Figure at Large. Extremity Dodge triggers Dodge effect, which deals physical damage to the attacker and inflicts stun on them for 3 seconds. Casting Dodge does not interrupt the strike count of normal attacks. When in Humming-Blade state, Extremity Dodge either triggers Harmony Judgment or resets the current and starts a new one. Whew, okay, so that was a lot. Next up is her Functor. Alright. As for her Functor, it is highly recommended to get her signature Functor if you wish to play Athena as a main DPS. Her Functor buffs her in multiple ways. So for starters, it increases the non-dot damage dealt with Sonic Boom by 50%. Also, expends 3 Divine Grace every 0.5 seconds now, instead in Humming-Blade state. and triggers perfect harmony state lasting 7 seconds after 5 harmonious normal attacks hits are landed when in Hummingblade state. Perfect harmony grants unyielding when and on top of that, every strike of normal attack and skill casting during this time will be directly judged as either harmonious or perfectly harmonious, and the harmony stack count will always be deemed as multiple of 3, 5 or 7. So as you can see, it's very useful to have here Functor. If you're gonna play here as the main DPS, it grants even more time into the Hummingblade state, and you can deal even more damage, and on top of that you gain the perfect harmony where you do not have to actually, you know, time your attacks to the rhythm pretty much of the harmonies, right? We're gonna look how that looks in a little bit, but for now this will be it for here access key slash Functor. And we can move on to the Sigils. For the Sigils, you have two options depending on if you have here signature Functor or not. If you have here signature Functor, then you want to use Mythic Warriors and Philosopher's Fantasies. Of course, Mythic Warriors to increase here physical damage since he is a physical melee damage dealer, and Philosopher's Fantasies because increases Divine Grace mode skill damage by 10%, she is a Divine Grace combat resource modifier, and on top of that she gains 1 Divine Grace every second, so you can extend pretty much her Hummingblade state, or pretty much gather enough Divine Grace in to go into her Hummingblade state immediately, right? Now, if you do not have her signature Functor, you can always use the Ambush of the O instead of the Philosopher Fantasies, where it gives more buffs for melee damage dealers pretty much. So in that case you can use that since you won't be gaining too many out of Philosopher Fantasies, and you won't be staying in the Hummingblade states as long as well without her signature Functor. And as for skill effects, like always, you're aiming for the Fierce Assault, Berserk and Enraged, followed by Sharpened Blade and Tactics Enhance. And on top of that, while I don't have it at the moment for my Athena, you want to look for Loop Back, because since her ultimate allows her to enter her Hummingblade state, which allows her to do more damage, that will be very beneficial for Athena. On top of that, you can also use Gladiator for normal attack damage, since you are attacking with your normal attack a lot. So you can always pick one of those if, you know, you get a little bit unlucky with the rest, or, you know, you don't have enough to pretty much, you know, try to find like the ones you really want. So you can always pick Gladiator in that case. But that will do it for the Sigils pretty much. And next up is the new system, the Warp system. And now what skills you want to use from here? For slot 1 and 2, the two pretty much skills you want to use is Power Up Melee. You want 6 stacks of Power Up Melee alongside 6 stacks of the Executioner. Now, if you have a triple S Athena and above, you can get 3 levels of Executioner, 3 stacks that is, and 3 stacks of the Judge. So you can, you know, put those two together pretty much. But 6 stacks of Power Up Melee is guaranteed pretty much for slot 1 and slot 2 together, right? Now for slot 3 and slot 4, depending on your playstyle, you can either take EM Flux or Savage. One of the two, depending on your playstyle. If you want, you know, to have the higher HP, more damage, or the lower the HP, more damage, you know, it depends on you how you want to play the modifier, pretty much. And as for the other one, you can pick Telepathize Force Field 1, where damage is increased when any tier 3 Aether Code is activated. And we're gonna go into that after the warp system pretty much for the Aether Codes. Also, finally, for slots 5 and 6, you can mix and match between Evolution Particle 3, Telekinesis Vector 3, Armor Breaker, and Kinetic Mode. You can mix and match between those. But having said that, I would actually recommend getting 6 stacks of kinetic mode, since going into modified mode is bound to happen, especially during hazard or recurring dream, and it can boost your damage by a lot if you have 6 stacks. I think 7.5 times 6, goes what, 40 something, right? So yeah, it will boost your damage a lot during modified mode, so I definitely recommend getting this one. And that will do it for the warp system. Next up, we have Aether Codes. So Athena is in the unique position of being able to run all 3 paths, but her best one, especially if you have her Functor, is triple blue. Tons of self buffs on top of gaining divine grace with each strike, just perfectly harmonious, which it will actually prolong your Hummingblade state, and you can deal even more damage during that. Now, if you don't have her Functor, then actually running triple yellow is better, or it's a very good one to use, because if you don't want to play Athena as your manual carry, you can actually put her on AI and run triple yellow, and AI can easily act as a support while dealing damage. Also, as you can see, Moderato Legato Armor Break effect, with its stack of Harmony, it reduces defense by an additional 0.5, and also the third one changes the Harmony stack count to 35 upon entering Hummingblade state, so you don't begin with 0, you begin pretty much with 35. So, it gives a nice amount of extra armor break during this state. But like I said, if you have the Functor, go for triple blue, especially if you're running manual Athena as well. Now for triple red, the thing about triple red, while this pass can be used as well, it puts a few restrictions on you, since you need to run a Hera as well, and you need to actually play a Hera instead of playing Athena. So you can spam their ultimate skill chain, so you can gain the Sonic Boom effect pretty much, and have all 3 modifiers go into melee range and keep dealing damage along with the Sonic Booms that happen. So yeah, and on top of that, we do not have a physical support to make this better as well. So yeah, I'd advise to stick to the other 2 paths, honestly. This is a little bit of a niche build, really niche build. You can experiment with it if you want, or try it out, but I wouldn't advise it for now. If you don't have your Functor, stick to triple yellow. If you have your Functor, stick to triple blue. Right, and that will pretty much wrap the Aether Codes as well. Now, when it comes to team recommendations, unfortunately, like I said earlier, we do not have a physical support in the game, so this makes it a little bit more difficult to build a team for Athena. But there are 3 teams that you can use depending on who you have and who you have built, I guess, or you can honestly build them as well if you want to, or if you were planning to do so. But one team would be Athena plus Hodur plus Okuninushi. Those Okuninushi and Hodur can take advantage of the dual ult to boost Athena's damage even more, pretty much. Also, you want to obviously use Nibel on both of those, so you can get your ultimate skill chain even faster, and use it on cooldown as well, when the cooldown is ready, to use it immediately after it. The next one will be Athena plus S Hera, surprise, plus Heimdall. Or you can use Athena plus S Hera plus A Poseidon. With Heimdall, pretty much, you get even more buffs on top of buffs, so you can use those 2 together. even though because on some content you have to use two teams, you'd want to have Hera and Heimdall in different teams because they are, you know, buffers. They can both, you know, buff your team pretty much. So it'd be nice to have them in different teams. But you can use them together for Athena if you want to. As for A Poseidon, she provides good heals, you know, and since you're playing in melee range and you're trying to keep your harmony up pretty much, it might result in taking risks with your health bar. So, you know, you might get hit here and there, and, you know, at some point the enemies do hit quite a lot. So having those extra heals, it's really nice to keep on attacking pretty much, right? You don't have to actually try too hard to avoid everything, even though it would be pretty nice to do so. But yeah, you know, sometimes you get hit. It is what it is, right? So that would be the other team. Oh, also, another thing to mention, which it might seem like a small thing, but I think it's a very good thing to actually mention here, is that if you're gonna run Athena, be sure to take with you Meow while playing Athena, because when an allied modifier triggers dodge effect, then you can actually gain combat resources. So you gain 20 Divine Grace with each dodge effect trigger, right? And that is really good because you can extend your Hummingblade state, or you can go into your Hummingblade state much faster. So yeah, it's very good to actually get Meow with you when building the team, right? You know, have this in your mind when picking up which Mimir to choose from for Athena. And that will do it. So yeah, sorry if this was too long, and of course, you know, I'll have timestamps for you to select and see the section you want to, but if this video helped you out, don't forget to leave a like, comment, and of course subscribe for more Aether Gazer. Plus it helps me out a ton, you know, I'd really appreciate it, and it helps the YouTube algorithm as well to make the video, you know, out there, you know, to push it out there for more people who are looking out for Aether Gazer content. So yeah, also I stream on Twitch almost every day, and you can find the link in the description where you can join and ask me questions live, or, you know, just chill with me and have a good time. So that'll be it. Yeah, thank you very much for watching. Peace everyone, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.